Welcome back to Shades of San Diego. Our next guests have wowed critics and moviegoers, first with the film Better Luck Tomorrow, and now with their new movie, Finishing the Game, the festival's opening night film. I'd now like to welcome Justin Lin and Roger Fan to the show. Justin is the director, writer, and producer of the film, and Roger plays one of the main characters in the film. Thanks so much for joining us here today, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So Justin, you did obviously a lot in this film. How did you think of this concept? Tell us about it.
Well, you know, I remember seeing the film Game of Death when I was like 10 years old, and I was so young I had no concept of like what a body double was. And
this is Bruce Lee's
last film. And what happened was he actually was making the film, and he had shot all this fight footage, the famous fight footage with the yellow jumpsuit, and then he dies. And the studio, wanting to make money, they decided just to continue with the film, so they just hired body double to walk around for like 60 minutes. And so when you watch the final product, it's kind of tragic. I mean, you see how everything's being exploited. You know, so through the years, I kind of found out the backstory, and I've always been fascinated about who that guy was that was walking around for 60 minutes and how he got the job. You know, so it became it felt appropriate that like after Better Luck Tomorrow, that I personally been introduced into the industry, that would be something to explore.
Right, and it's a comedy, and we have a clip of it where actually Roger is shown in the clip playing an actor named Breeze Lou.
That's right.
Let's check that out now.
I feel sorry for all of you in the afterlife. Ninjas!
You know, I really don't know why people keep confusing me and Bruce. I mean, seriously, we are two totally different actors.
Yes, but don't you see the obvious similarities?
Look, the cat wears a yellow jumpsuit on the big screen. I'm always wearing a blue one. He's Bruce Lee, I'm Breeze Lou. It's kind of like Pepsi and Coke. I can guarantee you one thing. Anyone who's ever taken that Pepsi challenge, you can definitely taste the difference.
Is it true that you don't do any of your own fighting?
That's correct. I mean, why should I, right? I'm an actor. There's a name for actors that actually do their own fighting, called stuntman. To me, acting's all right here, in the eyes.
I love that Bruce Lee, Breeze Lou.
Yeah, it's my best imitation. There you go.
It looked like a lot of fun to play. How was it playing Breeze Lou for you?
It was a good time. You know, it was very interesting, you know, to play a character like that. And, you know, we did research for the character. I actually watched that Lost interview with Bruce Lee, and he talks about being like water and being the pot. It's very interesting. He was talking about what it was like to be an Asian American at that time in Hollywood. And it was funny because I realized when I closed my eyes and didn't watch the movie screen, the same issues that he was dealing with then is the same issues that we're all dealing with right now, you know. So it's very interesting to actually, you know, go into that world and explore what the 1970s was like from sort of a comedic perspective.
Right, and I want to talk about that too. How is it for you guys being Asian Americans in the film industry? Is it still a challenge, or do you see a lot of progress?
I don't know if there's been a lot of progress. I think that at the end of the day, you know, the studios are owned by these multi-billion-dollar corporations, and their bottom line is to make a profit. So really, it's not also, I think on their end, you know, it's not about discrimination or anything like that. It's really about just seeing the viewers have to dictate what they want to see. You know, I think if you want to see, you know, representation of all backgrounds, Asian Americans on screen, you have to support, as a viewer, you know, I have to support films like that. Because if there's enough number, the studios will say, wow, people actually want to see this, and they will make it for the audience. And I think that's the challenge.
They look for what's marketable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that with this film, you're playing on the stereotypes of Asian Americans being kung fu artists and all that. Was that intentional?
Definitely. I mean, I've had the opportunity to go and make studio films, and it's amazing to me this day, you know, where we are today, they're still not colorblind casting. You know, so in many cases, they don't call in auditions Asian Americans unless it's saying Asian on script. And that's because they need the character to be Asian. You know, it's either like a kung fu master, a tourist, or some gangster that's going to get killed, you know, halfway through.
Of course, they have to die.
Yeah, they have to die. You know, it's like one of those worlds. So, you know, I still think that in a way that system is still very archaic. You know, it's very backwards. And I feel like as an Asian American, I don't see myself on screen when I wake up in the morning. Like, I don't have to define myself. I'm just who I am.
Right, right.
And these are characters that I would want to see on screen.
Right. And is it kind of pointing out that, hey, it's not just about being kung fu artists in finishing the game.
Yeah,
You're
because
kind of
we're
playing that
not
out
kung fu
satirically.
artists, and
Well, it's funny because
It's a funny way to look at it.
my character Breeze Liu. The funniest thing about it is he refuses to do his own stunts. It's all about acting. It's all about. He's Laurence Olivier, but he wears a powder blue jumpsuit.
All right. Has it been especially challenging for you being on camera, Roger?
Yeah, it's interesting because Hollywood currently has a very specific expectation of what a leading man is. It kind of, comes in the form of Matt Damon or Ben Affleck. But, I'm very hopeful because when you have opportunities to work with, like I have to work with Justin with Better Luck Tomorrow in Annapolis and finishing the game, you get to actually have an opportunity to play roles that Hollywood won't, necessarily give you. And so at the end of the day, if a movie like Finish the Game does really, really well, it'll make Hollywood scratch their head and go, maybe America's ready to see a leading guy that looks like someone like myself.
Exactly. And this is the third, or actually fourth film both of you have worked on together. You guys make a good team?
Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing about kind of having the opportunity to make films after film. I think you meet good people, good talented people. And from my perspective, I've worked with a lot of, very talented Asian American actors, and the issue here is not about talent. I know the talent is there. It's an issue of opportunity. So anytime that we can get together and to be able to kind of create these, kind of complex or whatever, three-dimensional characters, and that's always fun. I always think that's a great privilege.
Right. And this aired at Sundance, right? How was it received?
Oh, it's great. I mean, everywhere we've shown, it's been fun. I think that's the spirit of this film. And after Sundance, we've been able to kind of travel all throughout the country, and everywhere we've gone, we've had a really good time. Not only just laughing, kind of having this kind of shared laughter, but afterwards having these great discussions and just, good parties.
So not only can you see this film at the opening night of the festival on October 11th, but it'll also be at the Ken in Kensington, airing on October 26th.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the, I think when you make independent films, the biggest challenge is to actually get distribution. So we were fortunate enough to actually get distribution. So actually it's going to premiere on the 26th after the festival in San Diego.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Still to come, he worked for one of the top accounting firms in the country and left it all behind to pursue his lifelong passion for filmmaking. Up next, I'll talk to the man who made a movie called Illegal about a controversial topic that maybe even you've faced.